What is going on, Grinders? It's Chief. We're in the building. Happy July 4th. Happy Independence Day to everyone across the country. Thanks so much for joining me. It is Take Your Pick'em. It's July 4th. It's July 4th, 2023. It's a Tuesday, and we've got early baseball. We've got midday baseball. We've got evening baseball. And we've also got winning words of wisdom. And today, this one is coming from a person by the name of Sridevi. And I like this one. It says, what you feel inside reflects on your face. So be happy and positive all the time. Now, look, I'm not some bubbly guy that doesn't understand life's troubles, but what I am a fan of and what I do believe in my own life, if you continue to think positively, if you continue to work towards positive acts, if you continue to work towards helping your neighbors, if you continue to work towards helping your family, here's my favorite quote: put good out, get good in. I always want to do what I feel like is right, and just to make sure I'm perpetuating positive energy. And so if you do that, I think things in your life will always continue to be good consistently. It may not be every second or every minute of the day, but if you put good out, I can tell you with certainty you will get good in. Turn that frown upside down. Jay Steele, my man, good to have you in the building this July 4th once again. And now that we've got the preliminaries out of the way, let's go over our recap. We closed out the month really strong, and then on yesterday, I just knew we were going to get the sweep. We were so close, folks. So on the month right now, we are 2-1. So we had Tyler Wells at 5.5 strikeouts. We wanted more than that projection. Just couldn't quite get there. Had the opportunities, but then kind of got shelled in the fifth, and then in the sixth, just didn't get there. At any rate, Martin Perez, that little rascal, did not bite us in the behind yesterday. We wanted less than 17.5 pitching outs. Houston went to work. Perez was pulled after just 1 1/3 innings. And then Christian Javier in that same game, we wanted less than 5 strikeouts. And Texas did their job as well. That ended up being a very, and I do mean very, high-scoring game. So that one worked in our favor big time. Mr. James Holly, happy 4th to you as well, sir. Thanks so much for joining me. So we are going to hop right into the plays. I've got a couple that I really like today, and hopefully they are going to work in our favor. And so first up on the board, we're going out to Minnesota. That's going to be Mr. Kenta Maeda. He is going to be facing the Kansas City Royals. And I don't know if you've been following along, but the Kansas City Royals are, they're going in the wrong direction. And they probably have been for a while now. But at any rate, we want to get these guys on the list. And it looks like I'm waiting for my screen to catch up here. So sorry about that, folks. Whenever I go to the screen share, it typically lags a little bit, but we're right on track. And so as the screen share gets going, I'm waiting for it to pop up. And once again, if you're listening in your cars, I will go over the data itself. Jason, my man, happy 4th. And Dan Casey, happy 4th. So we're talking about Kenta Maeda. So one of the things I do like about Maeda, on the season, he's at 23% Ks, 22% to lefties, 23% to righties. Bama, what's going on, brother? On the last 30 days, that's only 2 starts. I did check, so it could be a little inflated because he did have a huge game against Detroit, if I'm not mistaken. 30% Ks, 37% to lefties, 25% to righties. However, on today, though, and look, we see our projections do have him at 4.75. Kenny, happy 4th to you as well, sir. I'm going to go with more than 5 strikeouts here. He is, 4.5, I think, across the sports books, but he's 5 on the pick'em sites. I'm going to side with more than that projection. One of the things we see here, this team, Mr. Garcia, 24%, 22% for Witt, 22 for Sal Perez, 36 for Prado, 17 for Olivares, 27% for Melendez, 33% for Waters. And then at the bottom, we do have Nicky Lopez and Isbell at 18 and 18 respectively. Overall, this lineup is this projected lineup, striking out at around a 23% clip. I think he's going to be able to pick up 6 strikeouts today. I think he'll get going early. And I did write this up as well. But one of the things I do know about Kenta Maeda is sometimes the leash isn't exactly what we want. He'll probably pitch somewhere between 85 and 90 pitches. But I think he's going to have enough strikeouts early to get rolling here. So we look at Maeda and we look at what Maeda's throwing here. As you can see, he's throwing slider, splitter, fastball. Now, if you've watched this show, one of the things you guys know is I love pitchers that are going to get the splitter going. And so when guys get the splitter going, you're going to start seeing some wonky numbers in terms of strikeouts. Now, this team as a whole probably hasn't seen the splitter as much because a lot of these guys are young. But look at these K rates on the splitter, folks. 33, 37, 50, 38, 66. And then we've got 60 for Sal, 20% for Prado. But my larger point is typically pitchers that throw the splitter can get strikeouts, i.e. think about Kevin Gausman and how sometimes he's able to just dial up the strikeouts out of nowhere. He can pick up 7, 8, 9 quickly between 5 to 6 innings. So I really like Maeda today, a guy that's got the splitter going. Typically pitchers that have the splitter going, I really like to get involved with their particular projections across the site. So Maeda's going to kick us off today at 5 strikeouts. We want more than that projection. And on PrizePicks, I was hoping we were going to get MLB Live, and basically they'll give us a 2 to 3 or 1 to 3 inning prop or pick 'em square. And typically what was happening, I thought we were going to get him at 2.5 strikeouts for 3 innings. We didn't get that today, so we're going to stick with the full game. He's at 3 strikeouts for 3 innings, but we're going to stick with the full game at 5. I think this is a good opportunity for us here with Kenta Maeda. All right, we're moving to the next one, and this one is going to be, I don't want to call it tricky. It's an early game, and this guy has been pitching, I think, better than we expected. But we're going out to Washington, and this is going to be a PrizePicks only. This one will be PrizePicks only, and we've got Patrick Corbin, and he's at 26.5 fantasy points. Folks, I am not a big believer in Patrick Corbin at this point in his career. He has had some good seasons in the past, but I do like this young Cincinnati team. There are some strikeouts here, but what I'm not worried about strikeouts. I think he's going to give up enough runs to keep us where we need to be. So at 26.5 fantasy points, the guy has a 15% K rate on the season, 13.9% to lefties, 15% to righties. Now, over the past 30 days, that has come up a little bit, 18.2%, 13.6% to lefties, 19.1% to righties. I looked into it. What I'm going to share with you is this is definitely overinflated because of a matchup with Seattle. Seattle's just giving up strikeouts to everyone. So I totally understand that Corbin was able to really get dialed in that particular matchup. In this matchup with the Reds, though, I think he's going to give up some runs. He is at home. I think Corbin gives up at least 4 runs today. So if you can find him anywhere at 2.5 earned runs allowed, and I didn't check that on PrizePicks. Let me check that very quickly to see. I don't think they gave us that one because that's one we've attacked a lot. Yes, we did not get that one, and I do have a earned runs allowed play. But at Patrick Corbin, if you can find him anywhere at 2.5 earned runs allowed across the pick'em site, I would be wanting to go with more than that projection. As we can see here now, we do have a couple strikeouts here, right here with McLean, India, and De La Cruz. But overall, I like this team. I like the opportunity that I think they're going to have with Patrick Corbin. One of the things about Corbin is that you're going to see, he's going to be throwing the sinker, he's going to be throwing slider, going to be throwing fastball. As we look at this particular team, you're going to see some interesting numbers here in terms of how they're hitting. But look at this on the sinker, folks. Now, a lot of this is in limited plate appearances, and I do understand that. But just take a look here. Not a lot of strikeouts in these limited plate appearances. Then we're going to go to the slider. Now, you'll see a few more strikeouts here. Oh, excuse me, that was a splitter. You'll see a few more strikeouts here with the slider. As you can see with the slider, a lot more strikeouts, but I'm not worried about it with Corbin with such a low K rate. I'm not worried about it. His primary pitch is the sinker. And then, of course, you go to 4-seam fastball, and then we see not a lot of strikeouts at all outside of De La Cruz in limited plate appearances and Matt McLean in limited plate appearances. I really like this opportunity. Once again, he's at 26.5 fantasy points, and I think this is a spot where this Cincinnati team goes to the Washington early. It's July 4th. The hot dogs are flying. Take me out to the ball game is going to come in the 7th inning stretch. And I think we're going to see, and that has nothing to do with the analysis. That's just talking baseball. All in all, I think we see the Cincinnati Reds get to Corbin here, and I think they're able to hang a number on him. Let's go with the hot take for this one. Once again, I do think he's going to be less than 26.5 fantasy points. Let's go with a hot take. I think the Cincinnati Reds score 4 runs in let's call it 2 innings. I think they score 4 runs in 2 innings. If that's the case, I think we're going to come out like fat cats here with the Patrick Corbin unders at 26.5 fantasy points. All right, we're going to move to another play here, and I did say that I had an earned runs allowed play, and that's going to be Zach Eflin. Zach Eflin is facing the Philadelphia Phillies today. That's going to be another afternoon game. And so one of the things about Eflin, he's at home. So he's pitching in Tampa. This is a very good part for pitching. And when we look at I'm trying to get over to the Philadelphia bats. When we look at Philadelphia, we have a couple of high ISO bats. But all in all, we've got very low ISO work here. Now Kyle Schwarber sitting at 228, Castellanos 193, Real Muto 118, Brandon Marsh at 191. But Marsh has a 27% K rate. Real Muto sitting at 23%, Castellanos at 25. What is going on, Jimmy James? Welcome to the show, my man. So glad you could join me on this morning. We look at Eflin. So Eflin does have some strikeout stuff. 25% K rate overall, 27% to lefties, 23% to righties. Last 30 days, that's 27%, 35% to lefties, 20% to righties. But what I like here's what I like, and this is where we're going to keep the runs down, I think. The ground ball rates, 52% on the season. Only 48% the last 30 days, but 52% on the season, 54% to righties, 50.4% to lefties. And I can guarantee you, folks, when guys have ground ball rates like this, what we're going to see is you're going to see sinkers, you're going to see cutters, you're going to see pitches that keep the ball on the ground. And here we go. Look at that. 36.3% on the sinker, 22.7% on the cutter, and he's throwing some curveball. Not throwing a lot of changeup, not throwing a lot of fastball, not throwing a lot of slider. He's throwing pitches to keep the ball on the ground. I'm hoping that BABIP is on his side today. I like the 2.5 runs. This is a guy that's been able to limit the damage all season long. And Philadelphia has a lot of name value, and yes, they can tee off on anyone on any given day, but I'm going to side with Eflin here. 2.5, we want less than 2.5 earned runs allowed at home in his own ballpark, throwing a lot of ground ball activity. I really like this spot for him. And once again, I'm hoping he can continue to limit the damage like he's done. He's had some games where he's given up more than 2.5 runs, obviously. But generally speaking, he has been able to limit the damage. And also with that, look at the walks. Not walking a lot of guys, so he's not giving away opportunities to give up runs. So that's something that I really like. I really like these opportunities today. And let's go ahead and give out a bonus play. We got about 2 more minutes left. Let's give out a bonus today. So we'll give out 4 today. And hopefully we can get the sweep for you beautiful people. And so that bonus play is going to be, give me a second here. I'm trying to find the game. I'm going to go with Jesus Luzardo. And no, it's not his strikeouts. It's going to be his walks. We've got him at 1.5 walks. We want less than that projection. I've already checked the umpire data. He has a neutral umpire. And Jesus Luzardo on the season walking about 5.8% of bats. And he's also got some strikeout stuff. Now, we look at the top of this order, or the top to middle. We've got Goldschmidt and Arenado at 10% and an 8.4% walk rate, but Evan at 5.9, Wilson Contreras at 6.3, Jordan Walker at 3.3, and then Luke and Baker, obviously, he's very young or very new here, not a lot of plate appearances. Then we do have some walks at the bottom of this lineup. But I think as long as Luzardo can do what he's doing, continue to pitch in the zone and not get erratic, I think we'll see him at 1.5 walks with under that particular projection. Has not walked a lot of bats this season. And so as a result, I really like this opportunity. I think a lot of people will hop on the 6.5 strikeout prop and probably maybe they'll side with more than that projection. I really like this walks opportunity at 1.5 walks. We want under that projection. All right, folks, we're going to go over our recap, and then we're going to get you beautiful people out of here. So at the top, we've got Kenta Maeda at 5 strikeouts. We want more than that projection. We've got Patrick Corbin. This is PrizePicks only, 26.5 fantasy points. We want less than that projection. We've got Zach Eflin at 2.5 earned runs allowed. We want less than that projection. I think that's PrizePicks only. And this one also I think is PrizePicks only. I did check Underdog, did not have it at the time. We've got Jesus Luzardo, 1.5 walks. We want less than that projection. Folks, happy Independence Day. Happy 4th. I'm Chief. This has been Take Your Pick'em. Come in with your pockets empty. Leave with your pockets full. Let's get the sweep. And I'll see you back here tomorrow.